We are live. Hey everyone, it's Glenn Ackerman, Energy Awareness Training with our usual Sunday morning class. We've got a great one for you today. It's going to be on the imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome, or feeling like a fraud. Has it ever happened to you? Sometimes you have thoughts, feelings, or emotions where there are thoughts telling you, boy, if people only knew what you were really like, or if they only knew what habits you're involved in, or some of the stuff that you're doing, if we were exposed, then the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle would be over. Well, we're going to talk about that tonight because it's powerful, and a lot of us have that inside of us, especially when we're successful in a certain field, especially when you're super successful in the field. I'm going to be sharing about how many of my very well-known and celebrity students have that's a chronic thing that they go through, and it's not just them; it's many people also. So I want to welcome you guys to our Facebook Live. We'll give it a minute or so for people to come on. I'm going to open the door and get a little bit of fresh air in here. And as we begin to broadcast, one of the things that I'm famous for is promoting high vibrational energy. And I along with my students, spend every day looking for high vibration energy opportunities. And the first thing that we do in the morning is we make a high vibration energy frequency. We make a high vibration energy opportunity. So in the morning, and why in the morning? Because usually when you get up, your energy is discombobulated. You've gone from one state of consciousness into another state of consciousness. And anytime there's a shift of energy from consciousness to unconsciousness, from normal waking state to sometimes intense or upsetting emotions, anytime there's a transition, there's a space. And what I teach my students to do is, in that empty space, something's going to go in there. So for example, when you wake up, you wake up in the morning like, oh, okay, I'm awake, okay. And you're in this space where you're kind of half coming out of one consciousness and you're coming into another consciousness. So the key thing is just to recognize that space opens up. And as that space opens up, energy is going to go in there, because we're energetic beings and we're dealing with energy all day long. I hope some of you who are new to my work have heard some of my videos, in that I state that briefly, we're living in an energetic planet, and that everything that we're doing is energy, and that everything that occupies our time is an energetic exchange. We're having one right now. So when I say that everything is energy, you may have heard that before. And this is just kind of I'm going to give you a couple of minute recap before we go into today's topic for people who are new. And these are the foundations of what we're going to be talking about today. So we're dealing with an energetic world. Everything we're dealing with is energy. People, places, things, objects, you name it. It's all energies. And Nikola Tesla said, one of his famous quotes that really illustrates my work is that if you want to be able to understand the mysteries and the secrets of life, then you'll start to look at things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay, energy, frequency, and vibration. No one ever told us that before. At least I never heard that. Did you? Energy, frequency, and vibration? Never heard that. Hold on a second here. The cord's out of the water. Yeah, I never heard that before. But that's the core of my work, which is being able to translate this world that we live in and all of the challenges that we're dealing with, and in dealing with them from an energetic understanding. Why would you want to do that? Because when you're energetically aware, when you're able to see energy patterns in people and places and things and activities and everything, you're able to see hidden motivations, hidden realities, hidden behavior patterns, etc., that most people can't see. So this really gives you the ultimate edge, so to speak, on being able to operate in life. So imagine if you were able to see 20 or 30 or 40% more than you normally do. If you were able to grasp information about a person, place, or thing, dramatically more than you're used to. This is the power of energy awareness training, because as we go into the world and we take Tesla's advice, we look at everything as a frequency or as a vibration. Health, for example, we learn that the health, and another word for being healthy is being in a high vibrational reality. Let me explain the two realities. Hey, want to welcome a couple of people coming on board. Hi, Carrie. Great to have you. John, welcome. Appreciate you being here with us as more people are coming on. I'm going to give you the basic backgrounds of energy before we go into today's topic, just as a review. So we're talking about energy and the importance of being energetically aware. Again, why is that important? Because everything we're dealing with in this world is energy. No matter what it is, people, places, things, activities, times of day, you name it, it's an energetic exchange. Why? Because we as people specifically are energy sending and receiving vehicles. So every day, whether you know it or not, you are in an energy frequency. And the energy frequencies have a power, a purpose, a direction, a frequency, and they give off information. So this makes life very fascinating and very interesting, because many of us have come to the conclusion, as did some of the wisest men who ever lived, that pretty much of our world that we live in is an illusion, or what I call a paradox. And that's one of the energetic laws I teach, that the world that we're living in is a paradox, which means that we're living in a lot of illusion. So what does that mean? It means basically this: sometimes things are what they seem to be, sometimes things are not what they seem to be, right? And we've all had that experience. Some things are as advertised: people, places, things, relationships, places to live, investments, cars, objects, you name it. And a lot of times they're not what they seem to be. That's true a lot of times in relationships. When we get involved with someone, we think they're a certain way and they turn out to be a different way, and we didn't see that. And what they turn out to be isn't what we signed up for. So this, being able to navigate life from an energetic pattern, is absolutely fascinating, because you're able to see things, you're able to read energies. Now, so when I'm talking about reading energies, well, everything has an energy to it. And I break this down into categories. Even though there's hundreds of energies around, I break the energies down into two categories, which is exactly what Tesla said: a high frequency or a high vibrational energy, and a low vibration energy. Now, these energies have certain characteristics. So the high vibration energy, for example, is an energy of happiness, of joy, of fulfillment, of love, of wholeness, of completeness, of satisfaction, of blessing, all the good stuff that we want. That's the high vibrational energy. The low vibration energy is the stuff that we don't want, which is anger, anxiety, fear, worry, doubt, lack, stress. That's the stuff that we don't want. But again, one of the energetic laws we're living in is the law of duality, or the law of polarity. And if you've heard this before, this is a good review, which is the understanding that no matter what we're dealing with, there's a polar opposite that exists also. See, no one ever told us this in school, and this is so important. What does that mean? That means if there's an up, there's a down. If there's a good, there's a bad. If there's a right, there's a wrong. If there's a left, there's a right. If there's a male, there's a female. If the tide's going in, the tide's going out, etc. So every day we have to deal with these energies. And no one ever told us. Did anybody ever tell you guys we're living in an energetic world? No one told us that. but it's true. Hey, if you guys could just say hi on the chat, that'd be great. Just give me a shout out and say hi. Tell me where you're from. I appreciate it because it helps me with the broadcast. Okay, so we're talking about navigating things energetically. Now, why? Somebody says, "Well, why would I want to do that? Why is that so important?" Why it's so important is that everything that you're doing involves energy. So you want to have a great relationship, a great romance, or a great relationship with your kids or with your parents. That's an energetic exchange. There's both good energies and not so good energies. There's getting along and not getting along. There's being at peace and arguing. There's feeling of satisfaction and then there's feelings of frustration. So we're dealing with these energies. Everybody is, whether you're energetically aware or not. But if you're energetically aware, it makes it a lot easier. Believe me, a lot easier to deal with stuff because the energies never lie. The energies are always consistent with where they're going. So again, we have the two energies: vibration energy, which is the energies we want, which is all the good feeling, happiness, joy, peace, abundance, blessings. And we have the low vibration energy, the stuff that we don't want: the anxiety, the stress, the worry, the fear, the doubt, the lack, the limitations. And we are interacting with these energies every single day. You've been interacting with them this morning, even before you got on this broadcast, because that's the way it is on this planet with human beings. It's an energetic planet. It's an energetic world. We're dealing with energies. And you would think that this would be vital information for schools to teach, but they don't. But we're taking up the challenge here in energy awareness training. We're trying to get you as educated and give you the tools to win with. And I'll tell you, if there's one thing that you can do in 2019 to change your life, we're already at the halfway point now. And if you really want to move your life forward this year, and dramatically, not a little bit, but you want to change some stuff, study energy awareness training. Study how energy affects you. It will change your life, as it's changed mine and has changed the hundreds and hundreds of students I have all over the world, changed their lives too. All right, so we're dealing with these energies. Again, the high vibration, the low vibration. Everybody with me on this? Okay, good. All right, now remember I talked about the space that we wake up in. So when we wake up, there's a space. If we're tired, opens up a space. When we make changes, we're shifting because see, everything that we're dealing with is an energetic space or reality. Getting up is an energetic space or activity. Going to work, energetic activity. Being at work, energetic activity. Leaving work, coming home, dealing with our loved ones, dealing with our relationships, dealing with our money, dealing with our health. All of these things, even though we kind of take it for granted to say, well, that's life. Well, all life underneath it is an energetic exchange. Everything that you're doing with, from the day we come to this planet to the day we leave, we're having energetic exchange. Money is an energetic exchange. Health, energetic exchange. Relationship, energetic exchange. So when you're energetically aware, you can see patterns, you can see trends, you can see directions of where these things are going, where most people can't. And the purpose of energy awareness training, two purposes, is number one, to alleviate suffering, to alleviate any energetic or emotional suffering in this world. And if you think about the things we suffer, most of the things that we suffer from are emotions, are what I call low vibration energy emotions. So when we have anxiety over something, or when we're stressed about something, that's an energy that we're in. Now there's something that caused it. Yeah, okay, you can say, my car needs a new engine. I'm gonna come up with $800 if I'm gonna buy a new car. Okay, well, there's an energy below that, which is the feelings of dread, the feelings of lack, the feelings of, oh no. And you're either in two energies. You're either in the happy energy, the feeling good energy, the blessed energy, the gratitude energy, or you're in the oh no energy. The oh no, not again. Oh, what I got to deal with this. Oh, not him or not her again. All that, right? The high vibration energy makes you feel good. The low vibration energy makes you feel bad, right? So every day we're a choice which energy frequency we're going to connect to. And in energy awareness training, we have comprehensive methods to dissolve the low vibration energy, neutralize its effect, and accelerate and accentuate the high vibrational energy. Now remember, every time you go out, you leave the front door, you're promoting, and you're in an energy frequency. You have, some people call it an aura, some call it a frequency, some people call it a bioenergetic field, whatever you want to call it. I just call it energy. And people can feel that. You've been around people who, somebody walks in the door and they're like, hey, everybody, how's it going? Good to see you. High five, bringing in a good feeling, a high vibratory feeling. And you've also been around people who, how you doing today? I'm doing okay. How's things? They're all right. You can actually feel the energy pull you down. So remember this, high vibration energy attracts more high vibration energy. Low vibration energy attracts more low vibration energy. So these are the directions that the energies are headed. One's headed up, making you feel good, happy, joyful, and the other one's bringing you down. All right? Okay. So it's important for us, whenever there's space, to be energetically aware and to put in high vibration energy into the space. So here's another example. Any kind of transition that you're going through, maybe a new job change. Okay, that's a transition point. Okay. How about a relationship that's either starting, or you're in process, or it's ending? That's a process in itself. And if you're, and the key to happiness in whatever you're dealing with is the ability to recognize the energy, and to recognize, is it high vibration energy or is it low vibration energy? And if it's high vibration energy, we know that high vibration energy tends to attract more high vibration energy, right? You're around people feeling good, you're feeling good. You're around people who are feeling bad, low vibration energy, you're feeling bad, right? Pretty straightforward. Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, I got my sister on the line here. Hi, Jen. Lots of love. If you guys could just say on the chat line hello, and a message, any questions or any encouragement or any challenge, whatever you want to communicate to me on the chat, I'd appreciate it. The more people we have interacting with the chat, the more people see the broadcast. Okay. Now that we have the foundation set, let's go into today's topic, the imposter syndrome. I remember when we were kids, I got my sister on the line. When we were kids, we used to watch this show called The Wild Wild West. Remember that, Jen? The Wild Wild West. And these guys were masters of disguise. Wild Wild West and Mission Impossible. And in these shows, these guys were spies, or they were agents, and they were infiltrating enemy territory. So they would always have to put on masks or disguises to infiltrate the enemy or the bad guy territory. Well, once in a while, these guys would get caught by the bad guys, and they would say, you're an imposter. You're not what you think, what you appear to be. You're a fraud. You're not the real deal. So another word of saying is counterfeit. It's like money, counterfeit, not real, looks real, sounds real, feels real, but it's not real. And for many of us, that's a feeling that we have inside. And it's important for us to address this, because this is pretty common in my dealings with different people, the imposter syndrome. And in my work here in my office here, I work with, I'm right here in the smack dab in the middle of Hollywood. So I work with a lot of celebrities and a lot of famous people, a lot of rich and famous people that I grew up seeing in the movies or seeing on People magazine or, on TV. And there's a lure about famous people. You ever notice that? Celebrities, when someone's famous, especially down here, somebody walks in a restaurant. I remember Al Pacino walked into a restaurant down the street I was having dinner with, and nicest guy in the world. But I mean, it's Al Pacino. I mean, here's the Godfather himself, right? He's walking down the restaurant, and the whole restaurant lights up from this guy. Al's about 5'5", kind of a short guy, non-assuming, looks like the the Italian guy who makes pizza down the street. Normal looking guy, but he's Al Pacino, right? He was Serpico, he was Scarface, he was the Godfather. Holy smokes. The whole restaurant lit up, going, yeah, Al, and he's high-fiving people and he's taking pictures and he's signing autographs. That's the celebrity that we, so many people covet, the recognition, the approval, the excitement. Well, what happens is, and in fact, I get my picture taken with a lot of them too. If you go on my Facebook, I think I got 3 or 4 pictures with Al Pacino and De Niro and Lionel Richie and a lot of famous people that I run into. I'm not saying any of those people are my students, by the way, not because I have to keep my students confidential unless they break the confidentiality. So I can't mention any names, but I mention those names because those are people who I've run into. But it bellies the point of celebrity and of people think you're something, they think you're, wow, this guy's really you're a star in your own right. In fact, speaking of which, today we have more high vibration energy news, and that is the U.S. Women's Cup soccer team just won the World Cup. So we're celebrating today across the United States. Wow, that's pretty cool. And I love watching celebrations of people who've won the championship. You want to see high vibration energy in action? Look at those girls, man. When the buzzer sounded and the game was over and they had won, everybody's in high vibrational energy, right? High fives, we won, and it's a great feeling. That's the ultimate high vibration energy, and that's an energy that you can be in every day. I'm in that energy every day. I celebrate every day like I won the World Cup or the gold medal, or I make up some kind of thing to feel good about it, to connect to high vibrational energy. Now you think, well, Glenn, you didn't win the World Cup, right? You didn't win the World Cup or a gold medal. So it's just your imagination. It's not real, it's just your imagination. Well, you're right in one sense, but not in another. The purpose of me and what I teach my students every day to go into high vibrational energy is to be able to create a high vibration energy, happy, joyous, free, positive, uplifting energy field around me. Why do I want to do that? Because high vibration energy attracts more what? More high vibrational energy. So you are in control of that every day. You can control your energy of what you want to create and the kind of vibrations you want to experience. No, not up to anybody else. It's up to you. Now, if you don't do it, and most people don't, then you're rolling the dice of what happens to you during the day. And you remember I said the purpose of energy awareness training is to eliminate suffering. It's also to keep you energetically free. This is another important part of my work that it's my mission, in my mission statement that I put out to the world. The purpose of this work is to be able to keep people in high vibrational energy no matter what's going on, no matter what challenge is taking place. You see, in our life, when everything's going good, we don't need any help. When the sun's shining, when the money's coming in, when the marriage is great, when business is good, everything's going great, health is good, nobody needs any help, right? You're just living life. Why? Because that's our natural state. That's the natural state that we were created to be in, happy, joyous, and free. Why do I say that? Well, look at babies coming in. Look at little children coming in. Wow. They're deliriously happy. Hey, Dante, appreciate you being here. Everybody else, if you could give me a shout out on the chat, just let me know you're here. Say hi, appreciate it. So you have little kids that are like, oh, they're goo-goo happy. I have my rabbi's kid is just, the guy's walking happiness. It's just, the kid is just, what am I going to be happy about today? Okay. What moment can I be happy about? So I watch him, I go, the guy is just a fountain of happiness. But as people get older, what happens? That happiness is into worry. Oh, worried about this, especially, and as an adolescent and as a teenager, man, you go from bliss to misery pretty quick, right? We're worried. What do people think about us? Do I have a crush on this guy or this gal? Do they like me back? Will I be accepted? Will I make the sports team? You got all this stress and worry, anxiety. That's why, teens are riddled with anxiety and stress, because that process shifts from high vibration to low vibration. Okay, so what I want to tell you is that the purpose of energy awareness training is to protect you, is to keep you connected to the higher dimensional conscious. So call it the divine presence, the divine frequency, the universe, call it God, call it spirit, call it whatever you want. It's up to you. We're not religious here, but so whatever you want to believe is fine. Or if you don't believe in anything, that's fine too. But you don't have to believe in energy, because energy is a fact. It's all around us, and you can measure it. So the purpose of this work is to be able to have us be able to find that place of high vibration energy, to be able to stay happy, joyous, and free, or at least functional, at least proactive when life challenges hits us. And it hits us all. If you're a human being, you have to deal with adversity. You have to deal with challenge. You have to deal with loss. It's part of the process here. So it's funny, no one ever explains that to us, right? And well, I am in this work. The reality is that we come visit this planet, we stay here for a while, and then we leave the planet. And that's the human experience for everybody. Now, how you deal with that reality, with that fact, is the quality of your life. And what I found in energy awareness training, when you're in a high vibrational energy all the time, life's good. Plenty of love, plenty of happiness, plenty of joy, plenty of money, plenty of all that stuff. Because ultimately, high vibrational energy is about expansion. See, all energy expands. It's just expanding. So whatever frequency you choose to be in will expand. So every day I choose to be in a high vibrational energy, because I want more love. I want more happiness. I want more money. I want more joy. I want more blessings in the high vibrational energy. Now, people say, well, I don't do any of that kind of thing. Okay, so does anybody choose low vibration energy? Some people do. Some people choose to be worry and fear and doubt and lack, because they don't know any better. They don't realize that they're connecting to an energy. So, for example, if I'm worried about something, I'm worried about guy said he was going to bring my car back. I lent the guy my car. He's going to bring it back at 5 o'clock. Well, it's noontime right now. I got 5 hours. So I'm worried that he won't bring it back. Well, there's two issues. There's the car, and there's my energy around it. Remember this, you guys. If you're taking notes, this is take a note at. There's always two things happening. There's what we're doing, the physical action that we're taking, and there's the energy around it. And the energy around it creates the way we feel about it. Okay? The energy around something creates the feelings that we have about it. So, like I lent the guy my car. Okay. Well, he's supposed to bring it back at 5. And he normally does. But the voice inside, yeah, but what if he doesn't? But what if something happens? But what if this? But what if this? But what if this? So that energy, it's an energy that's taking place. And that energy is trying to pull me into a low vibration energy frequency. Do you see how this works? Okay, let me go in a little bit more detail. So our natural state is to be happy, joyful, blessed, abundant, loving, grateful, etc. That's our natural state. But we have to deal with two energies. And the other energy that we're dealing with is low vibration energy over here. Let's put high vibration over here and low vibration energy over here. The low vibration energy's job is, remember I said energy is a power, a purpose, a frequency, a direction, and it gives off information. So the direction and the power and the purpose of low vibration energy is to pull you out of high vibration energy and pull you into low vibration energy. So I can ruin my whole afternoon going, guys, I gotta bring my car back. I hope he doesn't wreck it. I know I'm insured, but I can ruin my whole day being in that frequency. Or I can move into the high vibration energy frequency and just let it go, release it, release my attachment, and connect to a high vibratory frequency, which is the energy of certainty. And that's how we're able to stay in high vibration energy, even when you have challenge, even when you have disruption in your life, we're able to still stay in high vibrational energy, because these energies, especially the high vibration energy, it's not dependent upon anything happening in the physical world. See, if I normally ask you, are you happy today? You'll go, let me think about it. It's kind of overcast today, and tomorrow's Monday. I got to go back to work, and I'm okay. Yeah, so it's okay. Okay. So most people look outside themselves for some kind of validation or confirmation about the feelings. So if I ask you, are you happy? Down here, okay, well, give me reasons to be happy. Do I have any reasons to be happy? If you got reasons to be happy, you go, okay, I'm happy. If you don't have any reasons to be happy, you can go, oh, nah, I'm happy. I'm all right, like that. Well, that's not what we do in energy awareness training. We know that there are two frequencies. There are two energy generators out here in this planet. And one of them, the high vibration energy, makes you feel good, keeps you healthy, happy, aligned, having a great life. And there's low vibration energy that wants to take that away, that does it by creating chaos and judgment and self-attack or separation or upset. And when that happens, we go into this low vibration energy field. So this work is about, number one, especially if you're new to this work, is recognizing that we live in an energetic world, and that things are primarily under the state of illusion. Sometimes things are the way we think they're going to work out. Sometimes they're not the way we think we're going to work out. Sometimes things, people, places, and things are as they seem to be, as advertised. Some things aren't advertised. But here's the thing, the energies never lie. See, people lie, words, intellect lies. Intellect lies, yes, yes, you heard me. How can intellect lie? Well, think of any decision that you made a mistake on, whether it's a relationship or moving someplace or a job or something, that you thought that it looked like it was the right thing to do. Wasn't that your intellect telling you that? Yeah, I think this looks good. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it seems to be the right thing to do. Yeah. Right? That's the intellect. Now, we need intellect. Don't misunderstand. We certainly need intellect to operate in this world. But I'm talking about energies and frequencies that are beyond intellect. And this is the power of energy awareness training, because all of us do use our best intellect to figure out what's best for our lives, don't we? We use our intellect to make decisions every day about what's right for us, the directions we should go in, etc. And a lot of times we're right, but a lot of times we're wrong. And when we're wrong, we're thinking, how'd that work out? I didn't see that coming. It seemed to be good on paper. I talk a lot of people in relationship transition or going through divorce. They go, gee, they seemed on paper, they were the perfect match for me. It looked good on Match.com or, eHarmony. We were a perfect match intellectually, but there's another factor going on besides intellect. And it's the energetic factor. So you may have heard me say it's like the iceberg. 10% above the water you can see, 90% below the water you can't see. And the Titanic wasn't sunk by the 10% it could see, it was sunk by the 90% that it couldn't see. You with me? So we're being energy aware is also being aware of the hidden energies that affect us, hidden energies. So I was saying this is that which we can see, we can control. That which we can't see controls us. And this is what we're talking about the stuff that we haven't been able to figure out, about why things happen to us in our life. Why do we create the situations that we have? And what do we do about that? We've tried everything under the sun that we can think of to deal with the situation, and it still hasn't worked out. So we seem to be going round and round. We're going to be talking about that in a second. Let me just give a quick shout out to my friend. Hey, Curtis, glad you're here. You see, glad you're here. Give me a shout out. Hey, Dante, Christopher is here with me. Great. Guys, just put a note on the chat. Just say hi. Tell me where you're from. Would help me out. And if you have any questions on what we're talking about in today's topic, go ahead and shoot them over to me. All right. So hopefully this gives you a little framework about how the energetic worlds work. So the key thing that I recognized in my growth and how I developed this work was there were things in my life that I wanted to change. And maybe you have the same thing too. Maybe you have habits that you want to change, or behaviors, or maybe you don't like some of the thoughts that are going through your head, or maybe you constantly get reminded of something that was unpleasant or something that hurt you, and you're still living in that energy and that frequency. Okay, you're the specific person who I designed energy awareness training from, because I was that guy. And I used my intellect to try to figure out what's my problem. How do I get rid of it? What's my problem? And I would do this training, and I would read this book, and I would do this research on this thing and thing, and I would get maybe a better intellectual understanding of what I was dealing with, but the feeling didn't change. The feeling was still there, right? So I go to another book. Okay, maybe this book has the answer of why, because I thought if I knew why, then it would go away. A lot of people say that. They say, well, you know what? If you know why you're doing what you're doing, then you can solve your problem. Really? I don't think so. I'll give you an example. I have a student of mine who's a psychologist, and she's been in practice like 26, 27 years, a long time. And I think she's in her mid 50s. And she came to me and she said, I noticed this pattern in my life that's causing me a lot of low vibration energy. And she said, I have a pattern where I seem to attract the same type of man every relationship. And it always works like this. It's great. And we're happy for a while, and then things shift and change, and then he changes or I changes, and then we start fighting, and then we can't seem to resolve it, and then we break up, and then there's a lot of heartache and sorrow, and I'm hurt for years. I'm carrying around this pain for years until I think I'm over, and then I start the next relationship, and it happens again over and over and over again. So I said to her, do you know where this came from? In other words, do you know why? She goes, oh yeah, I know why. I had a situation when I was growing up as a little girl, and my father left my mother when I was 7, and I remember him leaving and saying to me, I'm not leaving you, I'm leaving your mother, but I'm not leaving you. I love you, and we're still good. But I didn't hear the not. See, the subconscious mind doesn't hear not. If I say to you, don't think of a pink elephant right now. Okay, first you have to think of a pink elephant, and then you have to think not to think about it. So when her father said to her, I'm not leaving you. Okay, remember, I'm not leaving you. I know I'm walking out the door here, but I'm not leaving you. We're still, well, she didn't hear the not. She didn't hear the not. It's like, I don't know if you saw the debates last week, but Kamala Harris said to Joe Biden, I know you're not a racist, but some of the things you said were a little bit hurtful. Wow, that rang. She scored a major knockout punch with that one phrase. Could you say this? You say to somebody, you know, I know you're not a wife beater, or, I know you're not a drug addict, but it's like you're already putting it out there, right? So in the example with the psychologist, all her subconscious mind heard was, "I'm leaving you." So what did she? So I asked her about that. I said, "You know where this comes from?" She goes, "Yeah, I know all about it. I've been in therapy about this for 20 years. I know where, why, how, what happened, but I'm still doing it." Okay. And that's kind of common of the people who come to see me about different things. See, there's always an issue that brings people to study energy awareness training, and they think it's the issue. So she thought, well, all I have to do is have this thing cleared up, and I'm good to go. No, all of our problems, challenges, conundrums, whatever you want to call them, are given to us for us to awaken, for us to wake up and understand and realize there's a lot more going on in this life than we thought. A lot more. We're cruising around in a three-dimensional reality, but there are 10 or more realities that are taking place simultaneously as we're doing this. So if you've ever had the thought, I know there's got to be more life than this. I know there's got to be something going on. You're absolutely right. And that's what energy awareness training is about, giving you the tools and the information to be able to see what is unseen in the third dimension, to see, to open up purpose, power, frequency, direction, information of all of life around us. And when we become energetically aware, we get tools to change. Now, what I told the psychologist was, nothing changes until energy moves. So you can talk about something until you're blue in the face, but nothing changes until energy moves. So that dilemma that she had, you see, most of the people would think, well, it's a problem. Well, it's a problem. All you need, you just get some, just talk about it and see if you can resolve it. Well, if I had said to her, okay, here's what you do. You just want to date people who are good for you. That's all. So just go out and date somebody who's not going to hurt your feelings or not going to leave you, and you'll be fine. Well, she got that advice plenty of times. But what no one told her is that when we go through an upsetting event, I call it the drama trauma story, something that really upset us or we can remember that caused us a lot of upset. It maybe even made us think that we could be harmed. And certainly when you're, a young girl and your father's leaving you, moving out, that symbolizes an insecurity. It's a big event. So what we didn't learn is that these things that happen to us, they're energies, they're living energies, and they attach themselves to our energy body. Okay, hang with me on this if this is the first time you've ever heard this. So what happens is that the things that we go through, good, bad, or ugly, especially the bad and the ugly, that stuff stays with us. It kind of attaches the energy frequency, the low vibration energy frequency attaches itself to us and constantly keeps that low vibration energy in motion, constantly keeps it going. That's why, for many of you, if I said to you, can you remember a time in your life when something happened to you that either upset you or had a big effect on you, not to the, not in a positive way, or something in your childhood? Most of us can say, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember the time I fell off the swing and broke my arm, God forbid. Yeah, I remember that time. And for many people, they can close their eyes and they can feel it right now, as if it just happened a minute ago. Can you do that? You have something in your life that you can still feel it. It happened 20, 30 years ago, but you can still feel it. And in the subjects of returning soldiers from the war. They go through horrible, upsetting emotions, trauma emotions, etc. I mean, in wartime, that's about as stress. Human beings weren't used to being shot at or blown up or seeing people hacked up or all of the intense low vibration energy that people experience in war. Go back to what I showed you. You're dealing with low vibration energy for what, a year, 2 years, whatever the deployment is. And what have I taught you about low vibration energy? Low vibration energy typically brings more what? More low vibration energy. In other words, more suffering. It brings on more suffering. So that being the case, that energy is going to continue unless it's stopped. All energy is constantly expanding, and it's either going in one direction or the other. It's either going in high vibrational energy or it's going in low vibration energy, one of the two. So learn this today if you want something really to take away with. Every thought, every feeling, every emotion, and every behavior, which is an energy, creates a ripple effect in the direction that energy is. So if I'm feeling great today, I'm happy, I'm feeling loved, got beauty going on, I'm going to create more high vibrational energy. In fact, I go out of my way to create high vibration energy, people, events, situations, etc. In fact, because it's a Sunday, we have a farmer's market that's right down the street here on Melrose Place in West Hollywood. And every Sunday, I get these beautiful roses. I don't know if you can see them. Look at these things. Look how beautiful they are. Look at the colors. Wow. You ever seen a rose? This is a rose. Look at the color of this thing. How beautiful is that, right? Look at these, the magenta roses. Beautiful, huh? And they smell divine. This is high vibrational energy. I keep it around me. Why? Because every time I look at it, every time I smell it, I feel good. And isn't that what it's all about? Feeling good, feeling blessed, feeling gratitude, feeling creative, feeling abundant. Is that really what it's all about? Yeah, that's what it's all about. So that you can transfer that feeling to others, so that you can lift others up, so you can be a light to this world. There's too many people walk around down, depressed, bummed out, in the grips of the low vibration energy. You don't have to be if you're energetically aware. Okay, let me see who else has joined us. Hey, you guys, welcome. Glad you're here with us. If you'd just give me a shout out on the chat, that would help the broadcast. Appreciate it. Also, if you're getting something out of this and you're getting some pops on this, by all means, let me know what they are. If you have a question about anything I'm talking about, go ahead and fill it in and we'll answer it. Okay, so let's continue on. All of this is building, by the way. Some of you may have heard of some of this before, some of you haven't, but this is all building up to our topic today of being an imposter. So moving into this, into today's topic about being an imposter, I notice this a lot with my celebrity students, people who, and these are people, you all know, they're all well-known people. They would seem that they have everything. They would seem that, I mean, they're more money than they can spend, celebrity in the movies, or, you know, making music or stand-up comedy or doing the different things in entertainment, yet they're not happy. Why is that? You know, we all grew up thinking, boy, if you're only a movie star, then you'll be happy. You got everything. You're making money. You're famous. Hey, that you got it covered, right? Or if you're a sports star, you know, you're a baseball player, football player, you know, making people happy, making millions of dollars, you know, playing the game you love. Hey, these guys got it made. Nothing could be further from the truth. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. Do you remember how I talked a few minutes ago about there's the thing that we're doing There's the activity that we're doing, and there's the energy around it. Remember I said that? Whatever it is, any activity is an energetic exchange. And all energy has a power, a purpose, a frequency, a direction. It gives off information, one way or the other. So if I'm in a high vibrational energy, that's giving me the direction, the purpose, the frequency, and it's giving me information. Same thing with the low vibration energy. So the imposter syndrome comes when there's a voice inside us that says, "You're a fraud. You're not the real deal. If people only knew what you were really like." Or how about this one? "If people only knew what you've done in your life, oh boy, you'd be exposed. You'd be rejected. You would be cast out. No one would want to have anything to do with you. So you better hold that secret and hold it tight. Don't tell anybody about it." Well, all of us have made mistakes in life, and all of us have done things that we regret. All of us. Now, that thing that we remember, if I ask you, can you think of some of the things that you regret most doing in life? And you go, yeah, and you think about it, usually it comes back with a dose of guilt or shame or regret. Now, here's your first quiz of the day. What energy is guilt, shame, and regret? Is it the high or is it the low? It's the low. So if I'm carrying, let's say I did something when I was a teenager and got me in trouble or I got slammed for it or something and I didn't want anybody else to know. I keep that secret inside me. Well, that's an energy that took place, and that energy attaches itself to your energy body. In other words, this is the metaphor I'm using for how it works. In other words, that event created an energy, thoughts, feelings, emotions, which are all energy, that lives inside you. And whenever you think about that thought, that memory, or that occurrence, if you're going to a place of shame, if you're going to a place of guilt or regret, what energy is that? Low vibration energy. What's low vibration energy going to bring you more of? Low vibration energy. You see how this works? So we were never taught on how to deal with our low vibration energy. None of us were. So what do? We stuff it. We ignore it. We hope it'll go away on its own. But it doesn't. It can get buried very deep inside us, but it doesn't go away. But what it does do is it lurks inside our energy field and it keeps alive those low vibration energy, feelings, thoughts, and emotions. Think about that. It keeps the energy that I experience from, let's make something up. Let's say I beat up some kid let's say I was a bully and I bullied some kid on the playground, or I got bullied, pick your scenario, and it was a painful situation. And every time I remember that situation, I feel sad. I feel lack. I feel, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. Even though it happened 30 years ago. But the energy's still there. Do you know what I'm talking about? That's why when the soldiers come back from Afghanistan or Iraq, wherever they're from, they come back here, they're not at war anymore. Physically, they're not at war anymore. Remember, let's go back to the iceberg. Man, we're crushing it today on this. Let's go back to the iceberg. 10% above the water, 90% below the water. So the soldier comes back from the war, okay? And he's got to change reality. He's back here. So he's back out of the war zone and he's operating in his 10% trying to function back in civilian life. But remember, it's not the iceberg that we can see, it's the iceberg that we can't see that has the biggest effect on us. So while the soldier comes back, and if he hears a car backfire, boom, it sounds like a sniper shot, or he hears an explosion. Could be a bomb going on. In other words, the 90% below the water is still activated. And that's why it's so hard for returning soldiers to adjust back into civilian life, because they're operating in the 90%, which is still at war, because the energies that they accumulated from that experience attached themselves or was recreated internally. And that's why they can feel it. They can close their eyes, man, and they're back on the battlefield in Afghanistan. They're back in a firefight, a big shootout, whatever. They remember that. They can go that because the energy has attached itself to the body. And that's all the body knows. And that's why it's so hard to change. Because if you've got this energy attached to you, and you're using your 10% to go, no, I'm positive today. I'm going to have a great day. Life's good. That's your 10%. Your 90% is going, get out of here, man. You're messed up. Remember what they did to you, what happened to you? Oh, you got to relive that today over and over and over and over again. How about when you experience a breakup? Oh, that's fun, huh? You have breakup, especially if your lover leaves you. All of a sudden, that what was once love and happiness and acceptance turns into anxiety, turns into rejection, turns into internal misery. Why did they leave? Why did they do this to me? I thought we were in love. And that energy continually torments you, continually haunts you. You're not lovable. You're not good enough to be loved. You're screwed up. That's why they left you. You're never going to be loved. And then it reactivates. Here's the kicker. This is what they call the coup de grace. Not only are you experiencing the fallout from the breakup, but what the low vibration energy does is it reactivates every unhealed rejection or pain around the subject that you've ever experienced. Boom, and brings it up to the point where this energy is completely taking you over. I've been down this road a couple of times, so I'm an expert at it. I know how that works. And I'll tell you what, I would have given anything to alleviate that pain, that breakup pain, or that losing someone. That's major emotional and energetic pain. Well, if you're energetically aware and you know how to move these energies and dissolve them, which we teach you in the training, you can completely have power over this. So here's the thing. If you're energetically aware, you can neutralize any low vibration energy, suffering, pain, anguish that you're going through. Now, you may still feel some discomfort, but you're not suffering. That's a difference. Discomfort versus suffering. Whereas if you're not energetically aware, you're going to have to go through this dark time and go through all the pain 24 hours a day until it subsides, which, what is it? 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. I went through this pain once, almost 3 years. I lost someone, had a bad breakup. And that pain, if only I had the tools that I have right now, I wouldn't have to go through. I would have suffered for maybe a week, and that's it. And then I would have gone on with my life. But 3 years suffering a bad breakup, what a waste of time. But it wasn't a waste, because it brought me to be able to explain how the energies work and to be able to share this information with you. So back to the imposter project. So what do I do with these people, who come to me and they go, I got millions of dollars. I've got fame. A couple of them are Academy Award winners, and I feel like a fraud. I feel like if people really knew who I was, you know, they wouldn't go see my movies, or they wouldn't buy my books or buy my records. It just, you know, I feel like a complete fraud. And I said, oh, and what is it that you're a fraud about? Well, because I have this going on in my life, and I did this, and I treated this person bad, and, you know, and I had a drug problem here, and, you know, and I got involved with you know, some kind of wacko cult when I was a teenager, and I hope this doesn't come out, and etc. So what's going on there is there's a secret. There is something hidden. There's a fear of being found out. What energy is that, guys? It's low vibration energy. So all of us have something that we're ashamed of, that we wish we hadn't done, somebody wish we hadn't gotten involved with, some activity, you know, especially when you're a teenager, especially if you're a guy and you're a teenager, you got a long list of stuff you did as a teenager that you wish you hadn't have done. And you can't even believe you did it. You know, we used to, the guys I ran, we used to throw water balloons, you know, off the overpass at cars. It's stupid. Why did I do that? I could have caused it. Thank God, no, nothing ever happened. Nobody got hurt, but coulda. You know, some people do worse things. So we all have this energy inside us that going, oh, I can't believe I did that. Oh, what's the matter with me? Oh. And that's a pull into low vibration energy. Well, what I do with the celebrities, and I'm doing with you, is you want to take a moment and recognize you're not the worst thing you've ever done. Okay, if you got a pen and a paper, I'd write that down. You're not the worst thing you've ever done. So you don't need to keep reliving that or keep putting yourself down or condemning yourself for that. You're not. It's something that you did. It's something that you went through. It's a process. I had talked to somebody recently about, you know, they made a bad decision about a direction in their lives. And this was a few years ago, and they're still beating themselves up for it. You know, and I mentioned it to them, you know, then they were trying to figure out, well, I should have done, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have. And I said to them, what we're talking about here today, forget the intellect, forget the rationalization, forget the excuses. You're in an energy field. All of us are in an energy field. Now, this energy field is either good for you, high vibration energy is either good for you, making you feel good, or making you feel whole again, or it's destructive and it's sucking out your energy. The memory of something, oh, why did I do that? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. What's wrong with me? How could I have been so stupid? That's an energy field you're in. And that energy field is sucking out your life force and bringing you into a low vibration energy, which is the purpose is to take you down and to make you suffer. So I can hear you say, okay, Glenn, well, how do I do it? How do I do it? How do I get rid of this stuff? Well, you learn how to take charge of your energy. That's what you do. I can't explain this. I can't give you the whole course in one video, but I can give you tools to be able to help that. So let's do a little process here. I'm going to lead you. It's an energetic process. So those of you guys are still with me on this, give me a shout out on the chat. Hey, Curtis, glad you're here. If you guys want me to do an exercise to illustrate how to alleviate some of this self-attack and some of this low vibration energy, go ahead and put down on the chat if you're up for it. If you are, great, I'll do it. If you aren't up for it, then I'll just cap it off and reiterate what we did and call it a day. So let me know in the chat if you want me to do the exercise or not. So recapping what we've talked about today. The topic of today was the imposter syndrome. And the imposter syndrome is basically feeling internally not good enough, feeling like a fraud, feeling like if people only knew what I really was like or what I really did or what I've done in my past, then I would be rejected or I would be cast out and I'd lose everything. That's called the imposter syndrome. And that's something that is prevalent, especially the more successful you get. You know, I remember one of my celebrity clients going, here they go. You know, I came from a poor Midwest upbringing. You know, we barely had 2 nickels to rub together. Parents were working class. You know, it was a struggle to put food on the table. You know, we didn't have, you know, I had an old bike. That's all I ever got. You know, no toys or nothing growing up, just bare existence. And now I have millions of dollars. Now I can buy whatever I want. Now I have houses, you know, and cars and boats and all this stuff. And he goes, I just can't handle it energetically. You know, I can't enjoy riding in my boat or going to my, you know, my mansion and my car. I can't, because I don't feel I deserve it. I don't feel that it's, you know, from my upbringing, that it's really right for me. And all this stardom, you know, when I walk across the red carpet and people say to me, oh, you know, they want to take my picture and get my autograph and stuff, I'm thinking, what's wrong with these people? I'm just some poor, you know, hit kid from the Midwest who lucked out, you know, lucked out in Hollywood. That's the feelings that these guys are feeling. So how do I deal with it? Well, by first of all, explaining what I've explained to you on the video today about how the energies work, about how we're energetic beings, about how we're under the influence of these energies and that there are hidden energies that we have to deal with. I also told you that you decide what energy frequency you want to be in. You decide. And if you don't decide, then it's going to default into the low vibration energy, because the low vibration energy has license to contact you every day in your thoughts, in your emotions, in your feelings, and ultimately in your behaviors. So being energetically free, being in high vibrational energy, is a deliberate choice that we make every day using the tools and trainings and methods that I teach you in energy awareness training to actually dissolve our low vibration energy and to create and expand our high vibration energy so we can be happy. And part of that is the ability to be able to forgive yourself. See, you're constantly talking. You got 2 people in there. You ever notice that? No one's ever told us that. Stuff no one ever told us. When you say to yourself, oh, God, I screwed up. What's the matter with me? Well, what part of you is criticizing the other part of you? When you say, oh, I'm not good enough. I don't feel worthy. Oh, well, what part of you does feel worthy and what part of you doesn't feel worthy? In other words, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to with? And that's what I'm mentioning to you. We're either in 1 or 2 energy fields, and the energy fields talk to us through our thoughts, through our emotions, through our feelings. So when we have thoughts of love, of gratitude, of peace, of joy, of asking, how does it get any better than this? When I have thoughts of, look at this flower, it smells beautiful, all high vibrational energy. That's a choice I'm going into. Now, if I don't make a choice, if I just go, whatever, then I leave myself open for the low vibration energy to come and attack me. Because the way the energies work is, if you want high vibrational energy, you got to do something for it. Not much, but you got to connect to that energy through the exercises that I give you. Through we do cleaning, we do what I call EPR, energetic processing and releasing, which is the ability to process this stuff going through us. You know, we have 50,000 thoughts going through us a day, and we have to process this because each one of those thoughts are bits of energy. So every day we're attracting energy out at the same time. And if you're not aware of that, then the low vibration energy wins by default. So this is about waking you guys up and encourage you to study energy awareness training so you can have the tools. By the way, these tools that you learn, they're with you your whole life. They're with you your whole life. And as you learn them, hopefully you teach them to your loved ones. That's my intention. That's my work, to get this out initially in my first phase to 1 million people. in the next 5 years or less to get this work out to people so that they can recognize, so you can recognize, you personally, you don't have to suffer. That suffering is completely unnecessary. Yeah, we go through pain and discomfort, but that's not the same as suffering. Suffering is low vibration energy that will continue to cause low vibration energy. You have every day at your disposal tools to keep you happy, joyous, free, abundant. And even though you may deal with adversity, you may deal with loss, God forbid, you may deal with life going upside down, as it does for all human beings. That's just the human experience. Nobody gets a free ride here, regardless of what it looks like. You can even see the royal family. People, see the King and Queen of England. Oh, they got it made. No. They got their own challenges, believe me. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Doesn't matter what it looks like. It's all illusion. Every human being has to combat these energy forces, has to combat and deal with your past. And if you don't deal with it, it's going to affect you and it's going to control you. And this is why people become alcoholics, get into drugs, or shut down and become emotionally cold, or decide to keep love out of their lives. That's the way a lot of people deal with low vibration energy. And you know what? Doing those things will create more low vibration energy. So this is about being energetically wise and aware. Okay, let's just check it out one more time. All right, so here we go. Let's do the exercise anyway. So if you guys would sit up in your chair, just sit up in your chair, relax your shoulders. Go ahead and close your eyes. Just take what I call an energetic breath, which simply means we want to breathe through the nose for the count of 6. We want to hold for the count of 3, and we want to exhale for the count of 6 through the nose. But we're going to imagine that our nose is down by our belly button. Why? Because when we breathe low, the energy and the breath goes to our whole body. The lower we breathe, the more breath and more energy we connect to. The higher we breathe, the less energy. So if I'm breathing up here, it's pretty much going up here. So let's take in a couple energetic breaths from around the belly button or below. I call it the center point, which is the bottom part of your spine, between your bottom part of your spine and your belly button. So try this out. If you've never done any energy work with me, here's some beginning level work which will help you. So go ahead and keep your spine straight, keep your head up, close your eyes. Imagine that your nose is down around your belly button, and let's take a couple of energetic breaths. Here we go. Breathe through the nose, inhale 1, 2, breathe low, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath, fill up the lungs there. Hold it for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale loudly through the mouth. Great. Get all the energy out. Pause for a moment. Hope you're doing this with me. If you're just watching me do it, it's not going to help you. So nothing changes until energy moves. So this is an opportunity for you to move your energy. Next breath. Now, feel the floor underneath your feet. Be aware of your lower body. Be aware of your butt in the chair. Let's take another energetic breath. Tune into your center point, bottom part of your spine, between your belly button. Let's take an energetic breath again. Here we go. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, breathe low. 3, 4, breathe all the way down your feet. 5, 6, big breath, fill up the lungs there. Hold it for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Get all that air out. Beautiful. Okay, pause for a moment. Be still, be aware. It's in this stillness that high vibration energy arises. So stillness is very important. Let's take a couple of more energetic breath. Tune into your center point, the place between your belly button and your tailbone. And imagine that your nose is there, and let's take an energetic breath. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Breathe low. 4, 5, 6. Big breath. Hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Now keep your processes, your thinking processes and your breathing processes down between your belly button and your tailbone. Why? Because when you're in your head, that's where the low vibration energy tries to sabotage you. And maybe thinking, what is this breathing stuff? What is this energy stuff? Forget that talk. Tune into your center point. Feel the floor underneath your feet. Feel your butt in the chair. Let's take one more energetic breath. Tune into your center point, the place between your belly button and your tailbone. Imagine that your nose is there. Let's take an energetic breath. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath. Hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Now, be sturdy now. Feel the floor underneath your feet. Be aware of your lower body. Feel your legs underneath your hands if you're sitting up. Relax your shoulders. Keep your spine straight. And keep your consciousness around your center point. If you're martial artist, it's the Dandien area, right around there. Okay, now I want you to think of something that you did or something that happened to you, that every time you think about it, it has a negative effect on you. It gives you, or oh no, any of that. Okay, I want you to think of that. Something that you did or something that was done to you, preferably something that you did for this session. Something that you did, maybe a major mistake, maybe choosing something or somebody that turned out to be the opposite of what you wanted it to be. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and the answer to the question is yes. Okay, so if you've never had the process of being able to move this energy out, hang with me because this is the process. So, right here and right now, could you say yes to forgiving yourself for what you did, for what you didn't do, for what you should have done, anything and everything around this? Can you say yes to forgiving yourself? And what do I mean by forgiving? Letting this thing go, releasing it, keeping the lesson that this taught you. And there's a lesson there. No two ways about it. There's always a lesson. Keep the lesson and drop the guilt, shame, self-attack, anxiety around it. So let me ask you that question again. Could you say yes to forgiving yourself for being involved with this incident or this moment? Could you say yes to that? Repeat the word yes. And if you're still kind of like, I don't know if I want to forgive myself, for this moment, just say yes. You can change your mind later. But for now, let's just say yes. Could you say yes to that? Yes. Could you say yes to that again? Yes. Could you say yes to that again? Yes. Could you say yes to that again? In other words, just choosing right now to love, forgive yourself, to let yourself off the hook, to stop beating yourself up, to stop the self-attack or the self-judgment, and to forgive yourself and to allow this thing to be in your past, to let go of any continuing resentment, fear, doubt, guilt, shame. Could you say yes to that? Yes, and again, yes, and again, yes, and again, yes, and again, yes, and again. Good. Take an energetic breath and breathe. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath. Hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. We're going to do that one more time. Pick that one thing, and we're just going to make the decision right here and now to let go of this, to stop carrying it around, to recognize at the time I was doing the best I could. Hindsight's 20/20. But right now, I want to release, I want to let go, I want to disconnect all negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions, all low vibration energy, thoughts, feelings, and emotions around that thing, and let it go and wish it well. Here we go. Could you say yes to doing that? Repeat yes, and again, repeat yes, and again, repeat yes, and again, repeat yes, and again, yes, repeat yes, and again. Tune into your center point, beneath your feet, and let's take an energetic breath. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath over the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2. Nice and loud. 4, 5, 6. Just pause for a moment. Now you already know how to disapprove of yourself. You already know how to put yourself down or to judge and criticize yourself. Let's flip that now. Can you give yourself some love right now? Some appreciation? What are you grateful for? What blessings are growing and expanding in your life? What fills your heart with passion or desire or a vision of what's possible? The dreams that you have, the visions that you want to have placed. Just tune into that. And could you say yes to allowing those things to materialize and happen in ways other than you thought they could? Would that be okay with you? Could you say yes to that? Could you just be open to it? Could you say yes to that? And say yes again, and say yes again, and say yes again, and say yes again. Good. Let's take an energetic breath. Tune into your center point, the place between your belly button and your tailbone. Let's take a big breath, breathing low now. Here we go. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath over the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale loudly through the mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. You're doing great. You're doing great. Now let's just go ahead and say the words. I, call yourself by name. I, Glenn, choose at this moment to love and forgive myself. Repeat, I choose at this moment to love and forgive myself for what I did, for what I didn't do, for what I should have done, for what I am, for what I'm not, for what I think I should be, for where my life's going, for where my life isn't going, where I feel my life should be going. All of that criticism, I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. Repeat, I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. And I accept the learning and I accept the blessings. This thing happened to teach me a lesson, to have me grow, to have me evolve, to have me go to the next level. I'm so thankful for that lesson. I keep the lessons in my consciousness and I release and I disconnect and I let go of any low vibration energy around this thing. I let it go now. Go now. Let's take an energetic breath and breathe it out. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath over the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, some of you aren't doing the breath. Why am I doing the breath? Because nothing changes until energy moves. And the breath is one of the best ways to move energy, to reboot your operating system. Just like your computer has an operating system, you have an operating system. And just like when your computer gets stuck or frozen, when you reboot the computer, it gets out all the glitches. It's the same thing with the human operating system, the human energetic operating system. HEOS, I call it. Identify it, let it go, reboot, and let's just finish up here. I want 3 things that you're grateful for. 3 things that you're grateful for in your life right now. So we get ready to wrap this thing up. Number 1, how about your health? A lot of people aren't healthy, but you are. You might have some health challenges, but you know what? You're alive and you're not in the hospital. So that's something to be grateful for. Now let's take an energetic breath and breathe in. This time we're going to breathe in the gratitude for your health. Okay, here we go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Number 2, what are you grateful for? Either you pick it or I'll pick it. How about that you have a home, that you have a place to sleep, that you have a roof over your head? So much of the world doesn't, but you do. Let's take an energetic breath and gratitude for that. Here we go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Last one. What are you grateful for? How about that you have money in your pocket? You know, if you got $1 in your pocket, then be grateful for it. If you got more than that, great. Some people don't have anything, but you do. So let's be grateful for our resources that we have, monetary as well as otherwise. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're doing great. Last one. I said 3. I meant 4. The people in your life, your loved ones, your mom or your dad or your brothers or your sisters or your dear friends or your siblings or your kids. The love that you have in your life, more precious than gold. The most important thing you possess is that love that's given to you freely. Let's take an energetic breath and breathe that in. Here we go. Inhale. 1, breathe it in. 2, expanding. 3, 4, even more. 5, 6, filled with the gratitude of all the love coming your way. Hold it for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Now close your eyes. If your eyes aren't already closed, let's take a moment. Let's take 1 minute as we get ready to close here and sit in silence, because it's in the silence that we create high vibrational energy. It's in the peace, in the stillness, in the gap between the thoughts that we create inner peace, inner love, inner blessings. All right, here we go. 1 minute. Keep your back straight, keep your eyes closed, keep your feet flat on the floor, put your palms up, relax, release, and just let go for 1 minute and be in the peace and the calm and the tranquility of high vibrational energy. Here we go. Please join me. If you're watching me do that, it's not doing you any good. So please join me in the silence. Excellent. Minutes up. Great. Come on back. All right. That's just a little taste, a little something that can move the energy for you. The energetic breath and the ability to forgive ourselves for what you did, for what you didn't do, for what you should have done. We all make mistakes. But remember, The two energies I taught to you today. The high vibration energy wants to you to feel good, wants you to be connected to the divine presence, happiness, joy, peace, reconciliation, forgiveness, abundance, creativity, you name it, all that stuff we want. The low vibration energy wants you to keep sticking it to yourself with I woulda, I shoulda, I coulda, why didn't I to take you down. You're in complete control of the energies that you want to connect with. The higher frequencies, all the good stuff is waiting to bestow great feelings, great circumstances, healing, light, and love to you. But you gotta unlock that key. It's not going to happen on its own. Unfortunately, the low vibration energy stuff, that does happen on its own. That does come and contact us and want to, bring us into low vibration energy, whether we want it or not. So this is about being conscious, being energetically aware. This is why I call this energy awareness training, for you to be able to grasp the tools so you can have a great life. That's what you deserve, a great life, not an okay life, a great life, feeling fantastic every day, feeling love in your heart, having blessings and abundance and great people and great circumstances. And if that's not happening right now, then let this be a wake-up call that that's available, and you have some training to do. You have some things to learn. That's okay. It's a process, step by step, step by step. They say inch by inch, everything's a cinch, right? Yard by yard, everything's hard. Learned that one from Dr. Robert Schuller. Okay, wanted to mention last thing also before I go. This is the last day of the sale that we've been having all week long for all the courses. So if you want to learn more about energy awareness training, you can contact me. I do personal one-on-one coaching, although my schedule's been pretty much full, but I have openings occasionally. I expect to have some this month. Or you can classes. I have 10 levels of energy awareness training, and each level has 8 to 10 classes on it that you can get. And this week there's a 30% off on those classes, 30% off on all those classes. So there's some powerful savings there. And for those of you who want to bundle levels 1, 2, and 3, this week only, we're including levels 4 and 5 with that also. So tremendous sale. We only do this once or twice a year, and it's the last day. So go ahead and take advantage of that. The way to do that is to go to Energy Awareness Secret. Energy Awareness Secret. That's singular, energyawareness-secret.com, and all the information's on there, on the courses, on what's in the courses. And I'll tell you, like I mentioned, like I opened the broadcast, the most powerful thing you can do this year, if you really want to change your life, if your life's kind of ho-hum or not going so well, or you're capable of so much more, the one thing that can make a dramatic change for you is to learn energy awareness training, because these are skills that I'm not aware of or taught anywhere else. That's why I'm teaching them myself. And these are skills and tools that you can hand down to your loved ones, to your kids, to your spouses. And what is the coolest thing and the biggest gift you can give another human being? I think it's the ability to lessen and eliminate their suffering and show them how they can keep themselves in a high vibration energy all the time, no matter what's taking place. Is that cool? That's in my book, that's the greatest thing you can give someone. So I hope you give it for yourself and give it to others. Let me just check if there's any last questions before we call it. Oh, Carrie, great. You enjoyed it? Great. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your energy too. Hey, Matt, come on. Nikesh is with us. Alvaro, great. Glad you guys are here. If you guys would just on the chat, just give me a shout out and just say hi. Any questions you have or anything I didn't cover that you were looking for, please put that down on the chat, and I will get to that and respond after the broadcast. All right. All right. That does it for me. Energy awareness training. Hope you got a lot out of this. We covered a lot in exercise. So it's all good. Okay, so until next time, remember, nothing changes until energy moves. This is Glenn Ackerman for Energy Awareness Training, wishing you a blessed and happy Sunday and rest of your week. Bye for now.